Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rich. Real Talk with Rich is back. What's good? It's been a minute, y'all. It's been a minute. So I'm happy to be back with you guys. Shout out to the Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever fam and all of our peeps all over the world. I'm just happy to be here. It's your boy. And man, we got a dope show tonight. We're going to get into some stuff. And I'm looking forward to it. First, before I get into that, want to just shout out my man DJ Phil, who did his takeover for Black Comic Lords in the last several weeks, and he had a blast doing it, and I enjoyed watching him do his thing. And so, shout out to DJ Phil, shout out to Otis, and shout out to Mr. Foreign, Robert Fordham, shout out to Jay, Napoleon Winston. Shout out to everybody that, came through and showed love. So, but we back. And so because I've been gone a minute, a lot of stuff has happened, a lot of shenanigans, and I'm here for it. So last time I was here, Colorado started sliding, and they still sliding. So shout out to Dion and all the good people in the state of Colorado. How's that working out for y'all right now? I'm just saying. So, y'all. Yeah, little shade. So, with that, you know what I'm saying? So, hope them guys get back to winning. Looks like they're not going to be able to get to a bowl. Man, it's not been good. They've been getting trucked week after week. So we had that going on, of course, and of course, for all you hip hop fans out there, Andre 3 Stacks dropped an album with no bars. Yeah, homie is so homie is so good. The thing about Andre 3000 is dope MC, one of the best to ever do it. I don't care what anyone says. You can put him in your top 5. You wouldn't be wrong. The guy is so dope. But the music today is so terrible. And music today is so uninspiring that my mans would rather go play a flute than to actually rap. That's how bad music is. Shout out to all you hip hop fans. I know y'all wasn't expecting that, but it is what it is. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the world is upside down, guys. It's upside down. When one of the dopest lyricists in the world says, you know what? I'm not even trying to do these bars. Take this flute and put it where you want. Because I just do not care. I just do not care. So between Colorado losing and Andre 3000 dropping flute albums, I don't know if this is a sign of the apocalypse, but y'all might want to go to church. It's bad out here, y'all. Shout out to the chat. What up, everybody? I'm glad you guys are with us on tonight. But let me get directly into the show. So, with that said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into our first segment of the show. Low-hanging fruit. We're gonna begin with an article. Screen Rant. DC reveals why Black Manta is so much powerful in Aquaman 2. So we got a movie coming out pretty soon. This will be the last movie of the Snyderverse. And you said that album slaps. Yeah, if you like woodwinds and flutes, yeah. So anyway, so look here, check this out. So the source of Black Manta's newfound prowess is unveiled in After Image by Jody Esposito, artist by Ray Anthony Height. A story from the movie tie-in one-shot, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom special, #1, spotlights that David Kane's Black Manta, After Kane receives a letter from his late father, the former Black Manta, he's propelled into a series of trials across the globe, which culminate in defeating him and claiming victory over a rival captain's crew. So, in essence, there is a one shot that is out right now, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, issue 1. And there's 3 stories in the book. It's a dope book, but the story that features Black Manta is very good. So I recommend you guys go get that. It's got a $6.99 tag attached to it, but it's a dope Black Manta story in it. And Ray Anthony Height is doing the art. So check that out. And I don't want to spoil the actual story itself, except to say that this is what they released before the movie. So some of the stuff that you may see in the movie may not necessarily reflect what's going on with Black Manta as a character. I think he's one of the most misunderstood villains in the DC universe, and you guys should go check him out. So yeah, that's what's up with that. We're gonna spend a whole lot of time. We're gonna move to our next article. We gotta jump into a bleeding cool article. Okay. Spawn Comics jumps 6 months forward after Spawn 350. So some of you guys are Spawn fans, some of you are not, but I wanted to just hit on this. So in the Spawn universe right now, Spawn is getting ready to reach another milestone, 350 issues. And so what's going on in the story itself, I'm not going to give it away, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to jump in and catch up with the story, you can do so. But basically, something is going to happen in issue 350 of Spawn that's going to cause everything in the whole Spawn universe to basically blow up or whatever, if I can say it like that. And so when 351 comes out, it's literally going to be like 6 months later. Not 6 physical months later, I'm just saying, but there's going to be a time jump that they're going to take. So for you Spawn fans out there that are reading Spawn and Gunslinger Spawn and King Spawn, you look forward to that. So something is going on with that. So, check that out. That's coming pretty soon. So yeah, shout out to all you Al Simmons fans. We're going to hit our next article. Peter Parker and Miles Morales suit up for the new Marvel Spider-Man series. So for all you Miles Morales fans, all you diehard Miles Morales fans, shout out to my man Amir, a 1 in 100 podcast. You might find this interesting. So there's going to be a new Spider-Man book on the racks. It's going to be featuring Miles Morales and Peter Parker. They're going to be in a book together. And so the legendary artists, Greg Weisman and Humberto Ramos, shout out to Strange Academy, will lead the series that will introduce a fresh dynamic between Peter and Miles as they swap intelligence and tips, combine their strength against threats, and learn from each other's differences in age and experience. The story will kick off with the duo having a run-in with the supervillain Jackal, with Marvel offering fans the first look at the interior artwork in a special announcement video. Spectacular Spider-Man issue 1 will go on sale March the 6th, 2024. So that's coming next year, y'all. So, yeah, Miles is still doing their thing. He's, oh, my God, we don't need a team-up book. Well, Marvel's going to give you one. Marvel's going to Marvel. We'll just say it like that. Look, everybody's seems to be enjoying the Miles Morales Spider-Man book written by Cody Ziegler. So, you're going to get a little bit of more Miles. Can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have 2 Miles books on the shelf. Miles got to get his glow up, got to get this bread. So that's what's up. So anyway, speaking of Spider-Man, next CBR article. For those of you that went bananas over Spider-Punk, Into the Spider-Verse, all of you guys that said you've been fans of Spider-Punk, guess what? Spider-Punk's coming back. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Spider-Punk has a new series coming back, written by Cody Ziegler as well. So you got that to look forward to next year. That's part of February solicits that's coming up. February is a dope month. It's going to be a lot of new books. They're going to come down the pipe. Spider-Punk is just one of them, right? Also, in the month of February, we not only have that, but we also have Ultimate Black Panther. Shout out to all you Black Panther fans, Dakota Boss, the Black Panther cult, the Church of Black Panther, all you Black Panther fans. It's, so the question is it T'Challa? I don't know, and I don't care. All I know is it's an ultimate Black Panther book. Brian Hill's writing it, and I'm here for it. So I think Black Panther fans should salute this and support this. That's coming in February as well. So y'all better get these books. Not only that, Night Thrasher returns to the rack. Night Thrasher from the 90s. They are doing away with his skateboard. So Night Thrasher is not going to be on a skateboard this time. That's a good look. They need to glow him up. They need to retcon him or whatever. Do what they got to do. But I'm glad to see this book, this character come back. They've been putting Night Thrasher on the cover of Marvel Voices for the last couple of years. And when I asked the lovely Angelique Roche why they kept doing that, she could never really give me an answer. All she did was like, what? You talking about Black Batman? That's all she said. But I'm glad that he's back. And so for all of you Night Thrasher, New Warrior fans, my man's is back. So y'all look forward to that. That's what's up. So yeah, those some of the covers there. Those are the Black books that are coming out. It's a lot of white stuff coming down the pipe. But like I said, we got Spider-Punk as well. Spider-Punk, Night Thrasher, and Ultimate Black Panther. So there's going to be an Ultimate Spider-Man as well coming down the pipe, some new stuff. Scarlet Witch, Silver, few things right there. Derek is going to go through it real quick. These are just the solicits for February, guys. So yeah. And of course, there's your man Wolverine. Wolverine's got new books coming out as well. Can't have enough Wolverine on the show. Yeah, so Ultimate Spider-Man as well. So not only gonna have Ultimate, Black Panther, Ultimate Spider-Man 2. The Ultimate Universe is back, y'all. Got a What If Venom book coming out as well, and that looks horrifying. Is that Doctor Strange and Loki as a symbiote? Tragic. Yeah, that's coming too. So, yeah, some Miss Marvel, Avengers, you know what I'm saying? The newest mutant. Yeah, so y'all check that out. Edge of the Spider-Verse. Some stuff coming out, y'all. So please, pre-order. Go to your shop, pre-order your books. Make that happen, okay? Make that happen. So, real quick, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we are going to talk about the return of my favorite comic book, Killadelphia. So Derek is going to take us to commercial, get you a snack, get you something to drink real quick. We're going to come right back. Want you to check out Dr. Eve Ewing's tips on pre-ordering books and why it makes sense and why you should go to pre-order your books. We stand by pre-ordering here at Black Comic Laws, and here's why. We'll be back in a minute.
Comics are different. Those things cannot be returned if they do not sell. Okay, so that means that if they buy 10 copies of Monica Rambeau Photon and nobody buys it, they eat that money. And your local comic shop is, the margins are very thin, right? Times are hard for everybody. And so what that means is that it gives comic shop owners incentive to be very risk averse, right? And so you could order a bunch of Batman and you know that every month people are going to come in and buy Batman. It's often characters of color, new characters, lesser known characters where they're like, I don't know, this could be good, but if I put this on my shelves and people don't buy it, I lose money. And I'm sympathetic to that. That's a real assessment that they have to make. So the way that we avoid that is you go in and you pre-order. So Paul goes in 3 months before the comic set comes out and says, hello, I would like to pre-order Monica Rambeau Photon #1. I'm not going to wait till it comes out. I'm telling you now that I want it. And at that point, they're like, okay, let me go ahead and order this. And in the comics world, that is the sale that counts. By the time you come into a store and purchase a comic book, that sale does not count. I know it is ridiculous. It is very silly. That is the way it is. The sale that counts is when the store orders it from the distributor. That is what they are counting. And so what that means is that when you go in and you pre-order things, it actually gives that store confidence. Like, okay, Paul said Paul's going to be back and spend his $5 on this book. So we're good. If we order this one, we know it's going to sell and we can pay our rent. We're not going to be eating this cost this month. The best thing to do is your subscription or your pull list, where you go in and you say, I want you to put these in every month for me, right? And then they will set that aside in a box.
Message.
All right. So we are back. And shout out to Dr. Eve Ewing. We'll talk about Black Panther in a minute. I saw a comment, somebody said that the Black Panther book is trash. I respectfully disagree, but we're going to get to that in a few. Right now, we want to talk Killadelphia. Shout out to the OG Rodney Barnes and the return of Killadelphia. Killadelphia issue 31, I'm sorry. Issue 31 hit the stands finally, and it did not disappoint. I don't want to do any spoilers. I'm not going to talk details about it, except to say that it is a very, very good book. Shout out to Anansi, and shout out to Seesaw. I gotta say, man, Rodney Barnes has killed it with this book. It is almost like he is really batting 1,000 with this series. And Rodney's written a lot of other stuff as well as Killadelphia, but he continues to knock this out the park, man. And it's kind of hard to, anybody that's hating on Killadelphia, clearly either that they don't either know comics or they don't know writing or they don't know good storytelling, because this guy has got it. Shout out to Rodney Barnes, man. He is doing his thing. Also, just for those who have not picked up the book or whatever, you should pick up this book for not only Spawn being in the book, because Spawn is in issue 31. And Spawn, actually, there are a number of characters that are in this book, but Spawn's the main character in this book. But in the Killadelphia books, at the very beginning, if you go back to volume 1 of Killadelphia, Killadelphia used to contain a secondary story written by Rodney Barnes and drawn by Jason Sean Alexander, called Elysium Gardens. Okay? Now we have Sheriff Gatlin. Sheriff Gatlin is a story or is a character in the Killadelphia universe that Rodney Barnes only does on his Substack. Rodney Barnes has got, let's see, she's got Sheriff Gatlin, he's got 20 Past Rigor, and he has Elysium Gardens that he does exclusively on Substack. We interviewed Rodney Barnes about 2 years ago, I want to say, and I asked him, I said, will there ever be a possibility that, these stories that you're doing on Substack, that you will actually put them in print? I'm happy to report that Sheriff Gatlin made its debut in physical comic book form in Killadelphia issue 31. And so I'm excited because I don't have the Substack, and, Rodney gets enough of my bread. He gets enough of my bread. So, but I'm just happy that book is back in stores. Shout out, we got H&H with a super chat. Shout out to Rodney Barnes and the BCL. That's what's up. Get us started with the super chat, please. Please, guys, thanks for the super chat, H&H. Please like this video. If you're watching right now, just take a moment to like the video, guys. And if you feel like, hey, throw us a little change, help us keep the lights on in this thing, what we're doing. We appreciate it for sure. Frustrated says issue 32 is going to be great as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, look, it can only go up. That's all I can say. It's at a high level right now. And we know that Blackula and supposedly Savage Dragon are going to be coming up. So that I'm not sure when they're going to make their debut in the books, but yeah. So there's a lot to look forward to when it comes to Killadelphia. He says, by the way, have you read the graphic novel Black and Return of the King? It's awesome. Yes, we have. We've done reviews on it here, Black Comic Lord. So yeah, we love Rodney Barnes and all the stuff that he does, and that is a dope graphic novel for sure. So yeah, man. So shout out to all the people who love Killadelphia. That's a bad book, bro. I love that book. It's my favorite comic book. So ain't nothing come down the pike. There's some good stuff out there, independent stuff out there, but man, ain't nothing touching. It's Killadelphia and everybody else. So yeah. So with that also, you know what I'm saying, not only did Killadelphia come out this week, we had a number of other books that came out this week. Killer Bees. First up, Black Panther. Black Panther issue number 6. Not going to give any spoilers, but issue 6, in my opinion, just my opinion, my humble opinion, is the best issue in this run so far. We got a chance to meet a new Black Panther. Well, not a new Black Panther, but a new character in the Black Panther lore. Mattelli, I believe is his name. And he is a Black Panther from like 100 years ago. And they get pretty deep and they go into some of the magic aspect of the Black Panther and Wakanda. It gets pretty deep. There's some stuff going on in this book right now that I'm pretty sure that all the Black Panther fans, especially the hardcore, are going to love about what Dr. Eve Ewing is doing in this book. And so again, it's one of those things, man, where this has been a solid Black Panther run. Can't front on it at all. And the team that she has, the artists, they doing their thing, man. They doing their thing. We gotta give props where props is due. So I know that for some Black Panther fans, this may not be their mojo. This might not be what they like. But I'm not having a problem with it. Now, I'm not the biggest Black Panther fan. There are going to be people that are going to have, they're going to take issue with it regardless. It's whatever, you know what I'm saying? But Night Watch is like, man, shout out to Night Watch. Hey, bro, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest Black Panther fan. I'm not a part of the cult of bias. I'm not part of Recast the Child. I'm not part of all these organizations out here when it comes to, I'm a Black Panther fan, but I'm not the biggest fan. But from where I sit and from what I've read, this has been a decent book. But issue number 6, in my humble opinion, is the best issue of this run so far. So shout out to Dr. Eve Ewing doing her thing, man. Paul said, haters are going to hate. No shade in the chat, y'all. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that on our show. Okay. Anyway, not only did Black Panther come out also, but Blade came out. And yes, Blade by Brian Edward Hill. This is another solid book. And I gotta say that I'm enjoying it. Now, I don't want to spoil it because again, this book just came out. I'm not one of these guys that sit up and just spoil a book after a week it comes out. I want to give people time to go pick up their pulls and go get it off the shelf or whatever. But I will say that, this is a pretty good book. And, it's interesting. I don't know where Brian Edward Hill's going with the book, but at the very end, we got a reveal. And, yeah, it's about to get deep. It's about to get deep. So shout out to we got Black Panther, we got Blade that came out this week as well. Also, another book that came out. Now, as I said earlier, I'm not a part of the Recast T'Challa movement. I do believe in the recast. Let me just say that for the record. I do believe that they should recast T'Challa. Let me just say that. I don't need none of y'all coming to me. Don't run up on me because you're going to get these hands if you run up on me behind this. I am Recast T'Challa. Okay? I'm not a part of the cult of bias or whatever. I am a casual Black Panther fan. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, A certain writer is back. I have been admonished by management to not say his name, so I have to give him a nickname. I call him Johnny Law. The Ministry of Compliance is a new book by Johnny Law. I am going to be respectful of management. I am Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here not to get fined. I don't want to get fined. So I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name, but Johnny Law is back. And Johnny Law's got a good book. Ministry of Compliance was a very good read. Very good read. And I'm going to say that all of you Black Panther fans that have an issue with this brother, yeah. I wouldn't be mad if you go pick it up. I'll say it like that. Look, it's a black man, black character, main black character, black woman. Are y'all really not gonna pick this up? Are y'all that bitter? Let me stop trolling. But yo, for real though, Ministry of Compliance is a dope book, guys. You should go pick that up. John Ridley did his thing. Oh, I just said his name. I'm sorry. Johnny Law. Johnny Law. So the question's on the table, Paul. Are you going to read this book? I'm so glad you asked that question, frustrated. Yeah, but no, for real. This Ministry of Compliance is a good book. You got swords. You got a black protagonist. What's not to love about that? And like I said, Johnny Law, he doing his thing. He's back, y'all. He's back. And this book here is pretty thick. It's a thick read. This is not a 22-page issue. This book is probably somewhere about 50 or 60 pages. It's a nice, solid book. So you're going to have to sit down and read this thing because it's not a quick read at all. So, shout out to Johnny Law and the Ministry of Compliance. So, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, man, let's move right along. What do we have to talk about? So, the next article is a men's health article. And you might ask yourself, Richard, why are you talking about men's health? Well, the MCU is involved. It says here that if you are a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you have stuck around all the way to this point, it's fair to assume one thing: you probably want more. After the Infinity Saga, the first 22 movies in the franchise came to conclusion in Avengers Endgame. The next era of Marvel storytelling took a slight delay after the release of Spider-Man Far From Home because of the whole COVID-19 thing. Marvel Studios got things back on track in 2021 and 2022. And that's continued now in 2023. We also know that Marvel Studios and its fearless leader, President Kevin Feige, are extremely meticulous. They are the movies and shows that we know about that have been publicly announced, and then there are movies and shows that they're working on that will exist in the shadows and rumors only. One example, we all know that the X-Men are coming to the MCU sooner or later. How is anyone's guess? But not a single mutant-centered project has yet to be announced. So, what's coming down the pike? Well, we have Deadpool on July 26, 2024. Captain America in February the 14th, 2025. Fantastic Four, May the 2nd, 2025. Thunderbolts, July 25th, 2025. Blade, 11/7/2025. Avengers Kang Dynasty, May the 1st, 2026. Right? Avengers Secret Wars follows the following year, that May the 7th, 2027. Armor Wars, anyone's guess. Now, that's just the movies. I'm not going to go through the shows. It is what it is. Word is that Wonder Man had not been canceled, that they're actually doing it, but I guess they're doing something different with it. I don't know. But they made the announcement that they were going to do away with it. But apparently it's back. So there's that. Now, here's the thing, guys. It's the MCU, right? And the MCU, for a long period of time, it appeared to be very strong. In fact, very, very healthy. Kind of like my little friend here, that beautiful Cane Corso. It looks intimidating. It looks like it will tear your arm off. The MCU at one time was flawless. The MCU at one time could do no wrong. Kevin Feige, we were running around here talking about in Feige we trust. But in the last couple of years, the truth is something else. Ladies and gentlemen, the MCU is this. It is a sick puppy. And if you know anything about the hood, there's a chance that you'll meet somebody in the hood that will try to sell you a sick puppy or a sick 12-year-old dog talking about he's a puppy. They're truly trying to sell you something that's just not the truth. The MCU is a sick dog, y'all. It is a animal that I love. The little poochie, so cute. But we need to take it around back, put a shotgun to the back of its head, and blow it up. Now, I know that there are some of you that love the MCU. I know some of you are waiting with bated breath for the mutants to come, for Fantastic Four to come. So you're waiting for these characters that have not made their debut. You're waiting for all of these wonderful things to happen. But Marvel has been playing a game with us. Now, Loki just finished. Let everybody named Mama tell it, Loki is the best thing since sliced cheese. I stopped giving Disney my money, so I haven't seen Loki, so I cannot make any judgment call when it comes to Loki. But what I will say is that what they have put out there has been trash. Which brings me to the Marvels. The Marvels was not a bad movie. I enjoyed the Marvels. I enjoyed it for what it was. Now, here's a dose of truth when it comes to the Marvels. Captain Marvel, the first movie, it made $1 billion, right? Why did it make $1 billion? Was it that great? Was it that good? Not really. But what happened was they nestled this movie right in between Endgame, or should I say Infinity War and Endgame. So everybody was excited to just be able to go to the movies after what happened in the Infinity War. So people went to the theaters, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a solid movie. I I'm not like some of these YouTubers or whatever that just calls everything trash before it comes out or don't even go see the movie and call it trash, whatever. Now, when I say that the MCU is trash, I'm not talking about this particular movie, but Ant-Man, trash. Okay. I can almost say everything else has been, eh. Is it complete garbage? No, I just don't like where they're going. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, won't call it trash. It was a good movie. I didn't like it, but it was a good movie, right? So with the Marvels, the best part of the Marvels, Love and Thunder, that was another trash. That was a trash movie. Matter of fact, Thor has been as a Thor as a franchise has been trash. The best Thor movie was the first one, and they have not seemed to have gotten it right since. But the word is that the guy that's been doing the Thor movies is not doing the next Thor movie. So I guess we can slow clap for that. However, the situation with the Marvels is messed up in that movie only made like 47 million the opening weekend. I went to see the movie, and I sat in the theater with about 10 people. 10 people. This is a Marvel movie. A Marvel movie. And 10 people on a Saturday afternoon was in the theater. Okay? The movie itself, it was a fun movie. The star of the movie is Miss Marvel. Now, I like Monica Rambeau's character. I think she did a dope job in it. Now they got Nick Fury on there, but Nick I'm used to seeing Nick Fury be the man, but Nick Fury was not the man in this movie. Nick was just kind of hanging out. I think Samuel L. Jackson, I think they told him, said, Sam, you ain't got to do a bunch of acting in this movie. Matter of fact, we're just going to let you ad-lib everything. You ain't got to come. You ain't got to do no screen time with us or whatever. Just say some stuff, whatever comes to mind. There's a scene in the movie where Monica has gotten an alert as it has to fly. She doesn't know how to fly, or she hasn't discovered her powers yet in terms of flying. And so he says, "Black girl magic," and the irony of that, in the sense that, okay, I get it, but the execution of it, it was just not there. This movie was not. There's a lot of reasons why this movie didn't do what it was supposed to do, or it's a lot of reasons why this movie flopped. They didn't promote it right. They'll blame the strike for it. They'll blame a lot of different things for it. But the truth be told, the people that were supposed to go see the movie didn't go see the movie. Because we're told that when it comes to things like diversity, that we need it, we want it, but when it's available, the people that are supposed to go see it didn't go see it. The Hershey says Black Girl Magic was fine. Yeah, I guess. But was there really Black Girl Magic in this movie? Really? I guess the real Black Girl Magic was when Binary shows up, and Binary is a black woman. Marvel's like, we're going to get these race swaps in. We're going to get these gender swaps in. We don't care what the comic books say. We're going to just do what we want to do. That's the only Black Girl Magic Herschel that I saw in the movie when we woke up in that end credit scene and Binary is a black woman. But y'all want diversity. There it is. And guess what? Black women all over the world don't care. Nobody cares. That's the sad part about it. The only ones that's really talking about this movie are guys. The sisters ain't even talking about this movie. I haven't seen any sisters really talk about this movie. But, this is what they put. Now, Frustrated says, do you think the movies would be better if they followed stories directly from the books? I believe that I do. I am a person that if you can bring to screen what's been written, what's canon, you should do that versus try to check a box. That's my thought about it. I mean, again, the truth be told, there's nothing we've seen in the MCU that's comic book accurate. They have messed with everything. Everything. Me and Paul go back and forth all the time about Black Panther and how we've never seen the Black Panther in the comics. We have not seen that character on screen. We have not seen that character. We've seen T'Challa on screen, Chadwick Boseman, but that's not the Black Panther in the comic books. And so again, I mean, all the movies, whether you're talking about Civil War, whether you're talking about the Infinity Saga, the Infinity War, all of this would be different. Adam Warlock should have been in the Infinity War, but he showed up late. He showed up in what is it? The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is, by the way, the best movie that they've put out of recent time. Hey, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. A raccoon. A raccoon. A raccoon has done a better job than all these actors that you've seen. A raccoon, a story about a raccoon, a backstory about a raccoon in a franchise, in a C-list organization that nobody cares about. Best thing about the MCU in the last few years. They trying to sell us this sick puppy, this sick 12-year-old dog as a healthy puppy. It's not. It's not. I had a conversation with Paul and Derek. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation with the Black Comic Lord squad. I'm gonna pull the curtain back, right? I told these guys, I said, look, if I was the head, if Marvel decided to wake up and make me the head of Marvel, you know what I'm doing? I am calling everybody that works for Marvel Studios, and I'm bringing them into the foyer of the building. I'm talking about everybody. I want the guy that works the coffee machine. I want him to be there. I want the vice president of marketing and director and artist development. I want him there. I want the guy that dumped the trash. I want him there. I want the whole staff in the foyer. And I just want to say 2 words. Get out. And march everyone out the door. Lock it behind them and get on the phone and ask my partner, Paul, Dr. John Jennings, Rodney Barnes, hey, man, we're going to start over. I want you to come in and run this division for us. I would start completely over. I know y'all want to see Blade. I know y'all want to see Blue Marvel at some point come to the MCU. I know y'all want to see all the mutants. I know y'all, but I just feel like, and it's just me, I just feel like they just need to start over. Now, are they going to do that? No. They're not going to do that. They're going to try to keep this train on the track. I just, one-on-one said reboot. You said Rich trying to be like Deion. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So I would just have them just completely shut it down and just start over, man. I mean, once upon a time the MCU was a great idea. It was a great idea. Shout out to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and all of the writers who put together an amazing franchise, who unfortunately have watched the corporation destroy their creations. Monica Rambeau should be a part of the Spider-Verse. I said what I said. Her first appearance was Amazing Spider-Man number 16, King Annual number 16, I believe. But she came into the MCU, she came into the Marvel Universe through Spider-Man. That's how she came in. And if I was Sony, I would have fought for that. I would have fought for that. She should be she should be part of the Spider-Verse. Because guess what? The Spider-Verse ain't hurting. Tiana Paris is a great actress. But I feel like they're going to waste this character. Miss Marvel has a future. We saw that at the end of that movie because they're setting up the Young Avengers. Monica Rambeau is on the other side of the galaxy. And when we will see her again, I do not know. But that's what Marvel is telling y'all. It's healthy. It's great. It's wonderful. It's kind. It's a healthy dog. It's a healthy puppy. No, it's a 12-year-old sick dog. But y'all go after that. Y'all just have at it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go to the movie theaters and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna get my popcorn. I'm gonna get my soda. I'm gonna get my milk duds, and I'm gonna enjoy the movie just like everybody else. I'm not one of these dudes that just get sick to my stomach of what they're doing. I don't own it. It doesn't bother me. I am black pill when it comes to this stuff, to be perfectly honest. They're going to do what they're going to do. Will they ever do right by, quote unquote, black fandom and that kind of thing? I am not going to waste my breath. I am not going to waste my time because I just feel like they're going to do what they're going to do. So if they do something, great. I'm on board for it. If they don't do nothing, great. It doesn't move me one iota. I'm not sitting up at night sick to my stomach at what they've done, because if they have an interest to do anything right, they're keeping it to themselves. They're not letting us know. So I just feel like that's what it is, guys. Will they reboot? They should. They should, but they're not going to do that. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep giving you race swaps. They're going to keep giving you diversity. Nobody wants it. And no one really wants to talk about it because guess what? It was all there for them to do it. Marvel didn't spend the money. They were going to have to spend the money. But they chose not to. They're trying to make the Blade move for $100 million in 2023. And it won't come out to 2026. But they're going to only spend $100 million. I'm like, man, child, please. Like Ocho Cinco would say, child, please. Y'all keep going. It is what it is. And for all you Rhodey fans out there, Armor Wars. Ain't no telling when that's coming out. Ironheart. Ain't no telling when that's coming out. Echo has more, I would say, run and press than Ironheart. And Ironheart's already been in the movie, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. But, that's your man's. Shout out to Kevin Feige. That's your man's. So that's enough about me and the MCU. 10100 podcast says it's DCU's time. Yeah, might be. Because I'm telling you, Marvel, they got some good comic books coming out in February. I'll be looking for them. I'll be in line to buy them. But Marvel Studios, I just do not know. What was Paul's comment? Secret Wars is the reboot, assuming they get that far sometime soon. It's not due to come out to 2027. They're going to wait that long to reboot the franchise? 6-8 says MCU needs to come on with Spike Lee and Night Thrasher. You know what? I might have said nah, but at this point, it wouldn't hurt. At this point, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to have Spike. It wouldn't hurt to have anybody with some new blood to get in and try to make that thing better, man. You know, and I want you guys to just understand, I am being facetious when I say a lot of this stuff because, again, I like the Marvel movies, the MCU movies. I do. But I don't put my stock in them. I am a comic head, first and foremost. And so if I can get something cool to watch on the screen, I'm good with that. You know, I can talk crazy about the MCU because I'm not vested like that. I know some guys are, but I'm just not. So with that said, let's get into y'all guys. What you guys want to talk about? What's on y'all mind? In James Gunn we trust. Boy, I tell you, that's I don't know about that, Amir. It's like James Gunn he's brilliant. When he's on, he's on. But when he's not, ooh, Lord, watch out. That's all I can say. So, guys, what's on your mind? What do you guys want to talk about? What books are you reading? It was some good stuff that came out this week. So, yeah. It says, okay. Black Eyed Pea. John, so far, John has only missed one book. Yeah, you're right, but it was a big one, though, bro. It's a big one. So Hershey wants to talk about Black Eyed Pea and Japanese IP. Here we go. I will simply say this, that when it comes down to who you support, it's your money. It's your talent. It's your time. You can spend it however you see fit. I have no problems with it. Does some of it look goofy? Absolutely. You know, and here's the thing. For me, Black Eyed Pea has to be more than just black. It has to be good. And that's kind of where I stand with it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're into manga or anime or whatever. If I'm gonna mess with it, then it's got to be good for me to mess with it. Because I feel the same way about it when it comes to comic books, when it comes to anything in terms of what I consume. I want it to be good. Now, I understand what the thought is when certain IPs are out and they don't get the support like these other IPs do. I understand that. That's a problem. But also, I think it's also a marketing problem as well. And what I mean by that is that, you know, Dragon Ball Z, say what you want, but that was marketed to us early on. Dragon Ball Z has been running around here since the 90s. Okay. And you've had kids literally grow up, or parents literally grow up, and their kids are watching it. Their kids are consuming. So this is not first generation stuff when it comes to the Japanese stuff. We gotta do the numbers and we gotta see it for what it is. This stuff is not new. And so what I'm getting at is that a lot of because my brother, let me tell you something. My brother has all of the original Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes. All of them. And I mean all of them on VHS tapes. When they first put them shows on the TV screen, and then they made them available on tape, my brother has every last one of them. Now, my brother grew up also reading X-Men. My brother had an extensive X-Men collection, which, by the way, he gifted to me. When he got out of comics, he started getting into more of the anime stuff. And my brother is only 3 years younger than me. Okay, now, I'm just using myself as in terms of that. Now, back in the day, he didn't read Milestone. I read Milestone, but he didn't. He was done with it. I mean, at that point, we're talking about the early 90s. Me and my brother were collecting comics, and him particularly collecting X-Men. He was reading X-Men from the 80s. Okay? His a majority of the X-Men collection that I have that he gave me was from the 80s, early stuff. Okay? So when we talk about the support that these Japanese IPs are getting, Japanese IP's been around for a minute. And so when we talk about the new IPs, these black IPs, bro, you just showed up. You showed up 5 minutes ago. So when we ask or we want to support, it has to make sense. And it makes sense in the sense that in terms of, okay, well, I'm black. I got something tailored for you. You should support it. Yeah, that sounds good. However, if it's not good, am I going to support it? Probably not. I'm just saying, this is the reality of the situation. Now, manga is kicking comics, Western comics in the tush. It is. It's not even close. It's a boat race at this point. But I don't think it has to do with support, because guess what? If there's something that young black guys find appealing about Goku, about Vegeta, that I don't know what it is, but they find it appealing. They champion it. They cosplay it. They identify with it. I don't know what it is. I'm an old head. None of it makes sense to me. And I'm not going to try to make sense of it. All I can speak to is my experiences and the experiences that what I see. And so when it comes to like support and that kind of thing, Black Comic Lords exist so that there is a platform that will promote Black IP. But I'm realistic. I'm realistic about that, the support. He said they could have done a lot more with Afro Samurai and Samuel L. Jackson anime and live action. 6-8G, you're right. But here's the question. The question is, whoever owns the IP has to make that decision. They could have. But it's not one of those things where, because let's just be honest, Black people are only 14% in this country. Japanese manga is not geared to us. Afro Samurai was one of those things, which is funny to me because it's literally almost an outlier, or it's an oddity in that genre. It doesn't exist. I wish I could go buy Afro Samurai comics and Afro Samurai books by the dozens, but they're not out there. They put the book out, and then that book is on the shelf for a minute, and then it's gone because the fans that want it, they buy it, but then they don't what's the word I'm looking for? They don't replenish their shelves. They don't go back to the well, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, a lot of this stuff is about ownership. I don't know if Samuel L. Jackson was part of the ownership of Afro Samurai. He did the voice in the cartoon for the first one and for Afro Samurai Resurrection, but I don't know if he had any stake in it. It would be good. But Samuel L. Jackson is a comic head. Matter of fact, Samuel L. Jackson reads, even though he's Nick Fury in the MCU, Samuel L. Jackson reads DC Comics. But, Eric Guapo says, true Western comics ignore two generations of readers. They took their books off the spinner racks into novelty shops. It is a slow death. I mean, pretty much. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Comics are dying. The fact that DC finally got a clue and decided to put some of their graphic novels in Walmart and other places or whatever, right there tells you they should have been doing that. They should have put dollar comic books in Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. They were not interested in the generations that were coming up. One says, only way for Western comics to compete with manga, get rid of floppies and give people more story for less dollars with trades, and that's not going to happen. It needs to happen. It needs to happen because as a comic head, yes, I want my floppies. But I'm not going to lose my mind if comic book companies tomorrow said, you know what, we're not printing floppies anymore. You're going to get trades. Because guess what? There is a guy right now, has a comic book company who put out 2 comic books and getting ready to put out a third, and just did his campaign for that third book, and it sold $1 million. It's already sold $1 million already. No floppies, a whole trade or a whole graphic novel. I mean, that's where we are. The companies keep doing certain things and it don't make sense. This guy's doing something that makes sense. And so whether we're talking about Black Stands or whomever, people want more content and they don't want to feel like they got to wait on it. Oh, I got to support a Kickstarter. And that's the thing, as a comic head, I'm spoiled. I'm used to going to a shop every 30 days, every 15 days. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Batman I'm picking up or whether it's Black Panther, whatever book that I might be reading or whatever. I know that that book is going to be at the shop. Or I know if I'm reading it and I'm enjoying it, I'm pre-ordering it. Because what's happening is a lot of comic book fans are not using pre-orders. That's why shops are dying. There's a shop out here in the Fort Worth or the DFW Metroplex. They were open 7 days a week. They're down to 3 days a week. 3 days a week. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you have to call them to make an appointment if you want to, go in their shop during the week. You have to make an appointment. Otherwise, they're not going to open the doors. That's where the comic book industry is. Sierra says, I like anime, grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and Yasha. I'm open to different, agree with you, Rich. I will support Black IP always, but if the story isn't good, it's just not good. And see, that's the thing. You can have the brightest and greatest idea in the world, but if you don't have no talent, it almost is for naught. It's like, man, what are you doing? We gotta recognize that. And so, this can't be one of them hook a brother up deals. The stuff has got to be par excellence. It needs to be, because no one's going to give it a break otherwise. Do we really want to have companies that be like, do we really want Barack Obama to be in comics? And what I mean by that is, are we just going to vote for black because it's black? That what we doing? No standard, no skill level needs to be up. Nobody separate the pack. I don't think Herschel is going to buy a comic book if his little girl drew it. If it looks like his little girl drew it, I don't think that's going to happen. So, people got to get your bread up, get your skill level up. He said, and the animes are favorable to the source material, which funnels people to the manga funnels the people to the anime. Yes, it's a tried and true. It's worked for them a long time now. But Marvel and DC are they doing what they're doing. Marvel was just funny to me because the comic book industry are used to copycatting one another. When a company has an idea or Marvel has an idea for a character, whatever, DC will pop up and give their version of the character, and they copycat off of one another like that. But you would think that they should look at what anime and manga is doing and try to do that. They are trying to create manga in certain Marvel titles. But the obvious #1 manga that they should do is Black Panther. They should do a Black Panther manga. It would sell. it would sell. It wouldn't even be close. It would fly off the shelf because you could sell it not only in comic book shops, you could sell it at black bookstores, you could sell it in little shopping centers. It would fly off the shelf. You want kids to get into Black Panther, put it in the manga. That's what they're reading. You got to go where the people are. You got to deal with the medium in which they're reading it. Nobody gonna go to buy Black Panther 24 just because we like it. We got to give it to them in the way they want it. Chillmonger says new fans don't know the difference between the old story and the new story. Repackage full trades and sell them cheap at retail stores. Yeah, chill. That part, they're not gonna do that though. They hard-headed, which is why the industry is in the toilet like it is now. And at some point, they're gonna get it, but it's gonna be probably too late. They can't get out their own way. So Ripper is killing the game right now. He is. He's putting a lot of black creators to shame. Now I know people say, "Well, look who's backing them," and I get that. I get that. But what can you say? Don't hate the player, hate the game. It is what it is, guys. Blood says, "What about graphic novels?" Okay, Eric says, "I'm giving Rippaverse a fair shot. I like Isom. I ordered Alpha Coin. Will give his other books a chance too." I mean, again, I can't knock the hustle. I can't knock the hustle. Alpha Core is intriguing for me because Chuck Dixon is writing it, but there are issues. There's some issues there. There's some issues there. But again, I bought Isom #1. I enjoyed it for what it was, and that's my approach to it. You know what I'm saying? But I really think that graphic novels has to be the future for comics. I love floppies. I got thousands of them. But if we're going to get good stories and we're going to get complete stories and we're going to get solid art, and I'll sign me up for that. 1-100 Podcast says the comics are the same as the movies, OG. It's time for a reboot across the board. I agree. Listen, superhero comics are on I'm not going to say that they're on their way out, but they definitely not as good as they used to be. I don't see nothing being done today that someday somebody's going to use in a movie. The stories that Marvel are doing or whatever, these are old stories. There's nothing. Civil War, that book, that story, Infinity War, all of that, it's old. Kang Dynasty, that's all old. Black Panther 24 out of 2021 was awesome. Something I wanted to see. I always wanted to see in comics and Marvel. And you know what? The sad part is that should be in other books as well. That for what that was, for what Ta-Nehisi Coates did in that particular book was amazing. No one could take that from him. But it should inspire other writers and other artists to want to do something similar. Paul calls it a black end game. But I just think that there's more. They left a lot of meat on the bone. If I can be honest, they left a lot of meat on the bone. And Coates' run, I did not like the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. I'm on record as saying that I didn't like that run. Black Panther in space, keep him in Wakanda. That's just me. But I definitely love that book. I definitely love Black Panther 24. But it took 6 months for that book to come out. And all this was doing because of COVID. I get it. Literally those last few issues that were left on that run, it took a long time for that book to come out. And I had problems with it. Now, I didn't like the run, but I got every issue. And that's the thing about us. If we're going to be fans and we're going to support, Sometimes you got to support the good and the bad. Sometimes you got to, look, if your partner's having a bad patch, I understand. Keep buying the issues though. Shout out to all of y'all that bought that Johnny Law run. 15 of the most terrible issues in the world. So on our website, blackcomiclords.net, we have 5 questions of Black Panther with Eve Ewing. You guys should go there. Maybe Derek can put that link in the chat. And you guys can go there because she answers some questions about the Black Panther run that she's doing. So why don't you guys go check that out? I think you will enjoy that. And check out our website in general and see what we got there. We got a lot of good, dope stuff on there. Interviews, questions, articles, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So Wayne Ashford says, been reading Godzilla and IDW. Can't wait to read Godzilla versus JL and King Kong comics. Yeah, I'm enjoying that too. And it's weird. I love when companies can cross over and do different things. I think that's dope. I would like to see more of that. Back in the day, DC and Marvel used to do that. I wish they would kind of bring some of that back. But again, DC and Marvel are owned by major corporations now. So the likelihood of something like that happening in this day and age is probably not going to happen, unfortunately. And that's the sad part, you know what I'm saying? The commentary on Marvel and DC, the fact that they're owned by Disney and Warner Brothers, they kind of like, well, not kind of, they sold out. And so to get the resources and the backings of a Marvel, of a Disney and a Warner Brothers, there's a price to pay when it comes to that, and they're paying that price, unfortunately. And I'll be honest, I don't think that they care about the comics anymore. I think DC and Marvel are going to give us what they give us. They're going to reboot like DC. DC's good for a reboot every 2 years. They're going to do something. They're going to create a crisis and reboot. They're going to give us another crossover big event. They give you event after event after event after event. And they just basically want you to keep you going to the shop and buying these floppies, these $7, $8 floppies or whatever. They're just not going to be worth nothing but the paper that they're printed on. And they think that they can do that and everybody's cool with that. Well, the consumers out here are saying something totally different. And they're having to have manga, they're having to have gaming in their shops. One of the shops that I have a pull list at, I mean, this guy, his shop was full of people. Full. But everybody was sitting at a table playing a game. Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons, whatever. They weren't there checking out the comics on the wall. I was the only guy in there at the time when I went that was looking at stuff that was on the wall, apart from what I had on my pull list. That's what comic book owners and retailers are having to do these days. They can't rely on the comics because the art just isn't there no more. Not like it used to be anyway. The last time it was done right was done by Milestone with Hardware, Static Icon, Blood, Syndicate, then Worlds Collide. I don't even really want to talk about Milestone. I'm gonna give Milestone a break tonight. I'm gonna give Milestone a break tonight. 1 in 100 podcast says 90% of my pool is independent. John Stiles has been that way a long time here in SA. I guess that's San Antonio. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, guys. We have to, I guess, make lemonade out of the lemons that we have. Because I don't want to be here and be like, oh, everything is so depressing and that kind of thing. I mean, you have to be intentional. I'll say it like that. You have to be intentional, even when it comes to the hobby. They're not going to just give you anything. You got to go out and find it. You got to find the next James. You got to find the next Joshua Williamson. You got to find the next Tinian. You got to find the next Rodney Barnes. Sierra says random, but are you still reading Thorn, my LCS PBS image? Look, I called my man out. We did the interview with the guys at Advent, and I said, like, bro, yeah, I put that book in the shop, and that book ain't been seen since. Listen, there's some good stuff out here, guys. You know, the guys at Advent and Concrete are doing their thing, but we need more, which is why the independent stuff will always, in this day and time, it's the independent stuff. I'm on record as saying I need Marvel and DC to take a L. For them to go back to the drawing board and say, you know what, we got to get back to story. We got to get back to good art. We got to get back to, especially Marvel, we got to get back to good paper quality. We got to get back to the essence. And until they do that, they will continue to play this game with their customers. And a lot of people would just rather do something different. You know, I'm a back issue guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to get something off the wall. I can go into, if I can find some long boxes, I can find gold. Doesn't bother me at all. You know, I want to have new stuff to read, but you know, Teron Jitney, Chipmunk, you crazy, bro. So it says we need to start a swear jar for every time you say that name. Look. I don't know what was going on, what kind of water he was drinking. I don't know if Mercury was in retrograde. I don't know what was going on when he did the BP run. What I do know is that he did some amazing work on I Am Batman. He did some pretty good work in the other history of the DC universe. He just got that wrong. I don't understand why or how, but he did. You know, shout out to Amani. I don't know if Amani is here, but I remember we were doing a show, and Amani was talking. We were talking about the run, and Amani said something I thought was hilarious. He was talking about, you knew that run was in trouble when you saw a buffalo soldier on top of a buffalo, riding a buffalo. There was something disturbing about that. There's something disturbing about that. And, you know, again, it was just a crazy time, I guess. I don't know if he had COVID. I don't know what happened. I just know it happened. So, yeah. Nightwatch says, great show, bro. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So, Sierra says, we have a shop like that here in Richmond. It's labeled a comic book shop, but they hardly have comics. It's more a gaming center for kids. I mean, that's what's paying the bills. Comics ain't paying the bills like that no more. They're just not. And, you know, it's weird to me because there are hundreds of titles, hundreds. And a shop has to figure out what are they going to stock because they have to eat that cost. You know, it's not like it was back in the day where you could return and get credit for stuff. They don't do that no more. That's why we stress the importance of pre-orders because, you know, a shop is not going to order a bunch of certain books with black creators or whatever. If they know black people ain't gonna come in and get it, we got to go to the shop. We got to pre-order this stuff. John Stiles says John had one bad run and just happened to be on the biggest title in Marvel fandom. Yeah. And John had one job. He had one job. he had one job. He had one job. But, you know, again, I mean, I don't know what was we're still trying to figure that out. But, you know, either way. Ron Morrow says, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the Killadelphia TV series. Yeah, I am too. I'm definitely looking forward to that when it does hit the screen. Um, that's going to be amazing. I feel, the cool thing about that is that, Rodney Bond, this is his thing. This is what he does. And so we know that thing is going to slap. We know that from the get go. And I'm not in a hurry to see it because as long as he keep doing Killadelphia, the comic book, I'm here for it because that's an amazing comic book. Love that book. 68G says Ultimate Black Panther comes out in February. Everyone here should pre-order it at the LCS. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, let's just be open. If it's a different Black Panther, let's not lose our mind. I'm just saying, and again, I want that brand to always be successful. I don't want it to take a hit. I don't want it to recast the child. That's all I can say. 1 in 100 says, I'll be honest, I have not been impressed with any BP run since A Nation Under Our Feet. Ooh. Amir? Me and Paul have had that discussion. But he didn't like the Nation Under Our Feet. I did personally. He said they changed up too much, but I don't know. It might be something to that. The cool thing is Black Panthers, for the most part, has been a solid book. Has not been. We got this one terrible run, but for the most part, the book has been solid. And I'll be honest, I just think that, Black folks had to get a turn, if that makes any sense. Because there have been lousy Batman runs. There have been lousy Superman runs. There have been lousy Flash runs. There have been we haven't had that experience, and because Black Panther is the guy, I think overall many Black Panther fans have never had that experience. So we're talking about the ultimate, man, not the main. We're talking about the ultimate. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I hope it's good. That's all. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. It should be good. I mean, it should be good. It should be good. John Jennings gave us Tosin, and that book hit a stack. What? Hershey, what you talking about? He said John Jennings. Look, man, if you put that baby to bed, you tripping. That's the wrong John. That's the wrong John. John Jennings gave us Ghostlight. I hope that character comes back pretty soon. Yeah, Hershey, what you talking about? Oh, that was funny. That was funny, man. Yeah, guys. I mean, what are you guys reading? Somebody tell me what they're reading. Make a recommendation. Make a recommendation. So I'm reading many books, Vanish Grimm, all the Spawn books, a lot of crowdfunded books too. I'm reading the Spawn books. I started reading Grimm. I bought the first couple of issues, and then I think I didn't pull it on a pull list, and all of a sudden I stopped reading it because it wasn't at the shop. It's like a comic book. That's the thing about a comic book shop. If they got something on their shelf that's not selling, they're not going to keep ordering it. And I think that's what happened to me with Grimm. It was one of those things where I got the first couple of issues, and then I just didn't, because I like going to the shop to not only get pulled, but I like to get stuff off the wall as well. And that was one of those books at the time that I did that. He said, "Oh, gee, are you still reading Newburn?" Man, I got the books, but I ain't been reading them. I got the books. I ain't been reading them. I've been busy reading other stuff, man. Let's see. Where is it? I just finished a graphic novel. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, I just finished reading this. This is a graphic novel called The Silence of Our Friends. This is a book that came out, I think, in 2012. But it's a graphic novel about Houston, Texas in 1968. In essence, it's a book about a guy who who was a news reporter who was reporting on some racial violence that was going on in Houston at the time. And SNCC were trying to recruit and do things at Texas Southern. So it's actually based on a true story. And so the whole premise of it is that, this guy is, trying to live his life with his family, whatever, but he's having these terrible interactions with the white folks at the time. And, he has a relationship with this reporter, and they try to help things, become better at the time. And we're talking about 1968. So we're talking about, the height of the civil rights movement, all the stuff that was going on. And it was a very, very good read. One of the things that I do is I still go to the library. I know some people don't do that, but I still go to the library. And so I picked this up from the library. And so and because I liked it, I bought it. I went online and bought a copy of it. And so that's something that you guys can do as well. If you're not sure about something, maybe you've heard a story about maybe this book is good or whatever, this graphic novel is good or whatever. If you don't want to spend the bread for it, if you don't want to spend the bread for it, go to your library and see if it's there. If it's at your library, you can check it out, read it for free. And if you really like it, then you can go buy it. Or if you just want to read it, check it out, and you liked it or whatever, or you didn't like it or whatever, you ain't spent no money, but you used a resource in your community to do that. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Let me tell you something. There's a lot of manga at the library. So a lot of these kids, they are not only getting manga from the store, they are getting it at their schools and they're getting it at their libraries. That's all I'm going to say about that. You can do the math. Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer has been good. Yes, it's been very good. I'm enjoying it. Can't wait for issue 3 when it comes out. Absolutely. Americane says Blade is fire. Absolutely it is. Miles Morales is good. Shout out to Cody Ziegler. He's got the keys to that machine and he hasn't crashed it. So yeah. Just finished a comic called Juke Joint in the first run of Abbott. Here's something funny. Juke Joint, which is, I believe, the vampire story, is written by T. Franklin. Before T. Franklin lost her mind and started tripping, she was a pretty good writer. But she wrote that, Juke Joint. So there's only 2 issues. They canceled it after the second issue, whatever. But those 2 issues are pretty good. Abbott 1979 is out. I am not really enjoying it. It's okay. It's okay, but it's just okay. It's not that good. It's not as good as 73. It's not as good as 73, Abbott 73 in the original Abbott series. X-Men Red, Immortal Hulk, Thor by Full Al Ewing was good. 2 for Storm Phantom. Eric said, I stay away from T. Franklin. Yeah, she a little crazy. She a little cray-cray. She a little cray-cray. But that's one of the books that it's an independent title. It's not a Marvel book or whatever, but that particular 2 issues that she did for Juke Joint was pretty good. I can't hate on it. But yeah, that other stuff that she did, especially the stuff that she did with DC, man, look, comics are not for kids no more. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Because I'm reading Amon Bellam's comic where she's about to give Kamala the new mutant powers. Okay, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Everything Brian Hill writes is amazing. It feels like I'm watching a movie while I'm reading the Blade series. Yeah, man, he's doing his thing. He is doing his thing. I mean, as quiet as it's kept, I know we those of us that are old heads, we love Christopher Priest. We think that everything Priest touches is gold, but it's not. Uh, However, Brian Edward Hill is putting together a resume that it one day may rival Christopher Priest. And Priest has written some good stuff. I'm enjoying his Christopher Priest, as a matter of fact, is I'm reading Superman Lost. And Christopher Priest is writing that. It's 8 issues in. It's a 10-issue story, and I'm enjoying that. I didn't enjoy Black Adam. I dropped Black Adam early. It just got kind of weird to me. But yeah. Green Lantern War Journal, yes, reading that. Yeah. Definitely reading that for sure. I'm enjoying that. Not a black title, but Kill Your Darlings has been interesting. Okay. Who is that? Who's the publisher on that? Who's the publisher on that? I'll be interested. Might check that out. I've been reading Tenement. I've been enjoying Tenement. Sierra, shout out to Sierra. Sierra kind of put me on Tenement, and that's been good. Tinian has a new book called Deviant, I want to say. I've been interested. I've been walking past the book when I go to the shop, and I keep seeing it, and I'm like, but I might have to pick that up. Image, okay, that's what's up. So I agree, Brian Hill's catalog is ridiculous, amazing writer. Yeah. I mean, I think he's putting together a resume that's going to one day rival Priest. What are these line bearers you speak of? Chill, bro. Chill. Oh man. So I thought Storm would have been a lot better, and it was only 5 issues. Well, I would rant about Storm for a minute, but I just don't have the energy to, because I feel like Storm is a character that you have to intentionally mess up. Either you make her completely boring, which is what that last run was, that little 5-issue mini, which was boring. It was literally a snooze fest. I don't recommend nobody go get it. And if you are a hardcore Storm fan, yeah, go ahead and pick it up. Get you some cool covers or whatever. But for it's like you literally got nothing. No one got anything out of that run whatsoever, and it's sad. But they've yet to give her a writer that I feel like, Al Ewing has been the only guy, and he's been doing that through X-Men Red, that's given Storm a good look. Have you gone back to read Signs of the City? I told y'all I was done with that. I wasn't going back and reading that. I read that 1 issue, and I've left it since on. I'm gonna let y'all have that. It might be good. I'll go get my late pass. If I just, I would go read it. You know what? I'll tell you what. Anybody out there got some Signs of the City issues that you just want to get rid of? I'll let your boy. Hit me a DM. I'll send you my address. You can send them to me. Because if I got to go to the shop and spend my money for them, I ain't going to do it. Just not interested. Just not interested. And Paul has told me, Rich is good, man. I'm going to have to take his word for it. He says, what are your thoughts on web comics? I don't spend a lot of, me personally, I don't spend a lot of time on the quote unquote internet to like read comics. I will read a comic digitally if I, have to, kind of per se, if that makes sense. I like floppies. I like books. See behind me, my, bookshelves or whatever. I have a library. I don't. I love books. I like holding books in my hand. I have nothing bad, negative to say about web comics. I think they're cool for what they are. But me personally, I'm an old head, and so as an old head, I mean, I'm just not going to. I've read, graphic novels digitally on my Kindle, and so I can kind of do that if it's cool. But I like to be able to hold my book and look at the art and read the story like that. On a Kindle, you can do that as well. But for this generation of cats coming up, they do everything on their phones. But I don't. I still like to read newspapers if I can. But that's just me. I'm just an old head. I mean, what I'm saying? It's the technology, it's where everything is going, but that's how I feel about it. It's just, when are you going to do your Rich Recommends again for back issues? You know what? I have been extremely busy. Comics for me is literally a hobby in every sense of the word. And what I mean by that is I work a full-time job, 50 hours a week. I'm a pastor. I'm in seminary. I do a lot of different things. And it's just not a lot of time to like, okay, if I read a book, I like it or whatever, then to like sit and think about it and put it in Rich Recommend forms. I just have not been, my brain has not been available for that of late. You would think that with the time I had off when Phil was doing his show, that I could have done that, because there are a couple of books that I want to hit you guys with on a Rich Recommends, but I haven't been able to sit down and do it. Because again, for me to do it, it doesn't take a long time to do it. I just got to make up my mind to just do it. I'm thrown off like that. There's a lot going on between these ears, y'all. I'm sorry. I'll get to it when I can. Thoughts on the latest Alice Cooper by Rodney Barnes? Enjoying it for sure. That's the weirdest thing too. People don't know that Alice Cooper is a Christian, but this story is hilarious, and Rodney Barnes just shows you his range. That's why I love that dude, and as far as his writing abilities, because he can go into something completely you would think. And he does horror comics, so this is not a reach for him. But it's one of those things where I genuinely enjoy his writing. You know what I'm saying? Because when I found out that Alice Cooper had a new book, I have some Alice Cooper albums. I'm an old head, so I used to listen to Alice Cooper back in the day. So when I found out Rodney Barnes was doing a comic, I was like, well, that makes too much sense. Let me go get it. So yeah. Now Sierra says, off topic, Rodney Barnes podcast, Run Fool, is good. Yes, that is very good. The Resurrection Man could definitely be a graphic novel. Slave who steals bodies from medical school. That's the other thing. Emir. Shout out to my boy, Emir. Rodney Barnes, I don't know if he's listened to him or whatever, but he has this podcast, Run Fool. He narrates these stories. And that first one was pretty eerie. But the second one, the one that Sierra was talking about, that's pretty good. That's pretty spooky. Yeah. So he's doing that. He's doing that as a podcast. I've enjoyed it too, Sierra. So yeah, he's doing his thing. He is doing his thing. And what a name for a podcast. Run, fool. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah. Old head equals tacit child experience with floppies I ain't managed. Look, bro, listen. It's just some things. It's just, as an old head, you just old habits are hard to break. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, man. Oh, what platform is that podcast on? You can get it on Spotify. It's anywhere you can get uh, podcasts, but I've been listening to it on Spotify. Um, so yeah, and it's pretty good. It's like 25, 30 minutes or whatever. Yeah, pretty good. He's only released 2 episodes so far. So yeah, man. Yeah. What else we got? Say you're an old head 10 more times. Anyway, I gonna stop. Look, I am a old head, but I'm a young person at heart. You know. Now some days my body will tell me that I'm an old head. some, some days my body don't play that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So anyone heard anything for Bitterroot? Chuck and David need to get back to it. I look, I y'all know him. Y'all know him more than I do. Shout out to David Walker too, man. You know, I follow David Walker on Instagram and on Facebook, and he's dealing with some stuff. So I don't know what the plan is for Bitterroot at this moment. It would be nice to see them get started filming this movie. I don't even know if the show is in pre-production or what's going on. I know that it kind of got delayed because of what happened with Regina King losing her son. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's been one of those things, man. I mean, there's some dope IPs out here, bro, in terms of, you know, I wish the guys at Excellence would get back to it. I wish they would try to bring that back. I mean, I think they dropped the ball on that. And can someone holler at Patrick Hawkins? He's doing a lot of other books, but I need for them to get back to Black Cotton because they promised us a lot of stuff. Paul, that's your man's. Where they at? That's all I'm gonna say. By the way, I did pick up what is it, Empath? I did pick it up. Pretty good read. That's another book that you guys can go get that Patrick Hawkins has put out. So did you talk about Loki? No, didn't talk about Loki, and probably won't talk about Loki because I didn't see Loki. I have took the stance, Sierra, that Disney is not going to get my money any longer. When the price of the brick went up, I was out. So I'm gonna let people like you tell me that it was dope. I'm gonna let people like you tell me that you missed it. I'm gonna let people like you tell me that you need to see it. And I'm going to be on the struggle bus with that, but I'm gonna keep my money in my pocket. So that's where I'm at with yeah. Yeah. So you missed it. It was brief. Yeah, well, it's only 6 episodes. I mean, that's what they do with these Marvel shows. You know, and I heard good things. I heard good things about the show and how Loki, Loki's a hero now. But I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I grew up. I'm having an old head moment. I grew up when Loki was a villain. Now all of a sudden he the hero. Feeling some type of way about that. They go get a late pass, Rich. Oh yeah, no doubt. I will. I'm gonna pick it up. Listen. Disney has been losing. They have been hemorrhaging subscribers. So what they're doing on the cool is they are selling or they are renting their shows on other platforms. So eventually we'll get to see it. I'm just not gonna see it right now. It is what it is. Does it also do some rich man? I will, bro. I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna get back to it. All the villains are becoming heroes now. Yeah, well, the world is upside down. I told you. I said early in the show, Andre 3000, when one of the dopest MCs on the planet would rather play a flute, than to hit y'all with some bars, that's a problem. Okay? That's a problem. But I understand why he did what he did. He's not inspired. And when you're not inspired, you do things like that. As weird as that is, everybody's looking at him like, wow, he was serious. He really put out an album with flutes and wooden instruments and didn't apologize for it. You know, any thoughts on Marvel's upcoming vampire themed event, Blood Hunt? Blade and Miles Morales have a big role. Not really. I enjoyed Miles Morales. I think it was issue 10. I think it was or issue 10 or issue 9 where they kind of getting ready to set it off and make that happen. I may get the main book if it's a crossover event or whatever. I may just get the main books or whatever. So, you know, it kind of makes sense. I just need Brian Edward Hill to continue to have Blade rolling, because he got Blade rolling for real. That run should be around for a very good while. It's an ongoing title. It's not a limited series, so you know I want that book to, you know. There's nothing wrong with Miles and Blade teaming up. That's cool. I'm here for it. I will buy an issue or two, or will I buy everything? I don't know. I'm so over crossover events. I just really don't. I just want a comic book character to be in their title. But I am looking forward to Rodney Barnes' Luke Cage run. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that when that comes out. Speaking of Rodney Barnes, so Luke Cage will start in January. Supposed to have the powers of Hulk, the Sentry, and Iron Fist. Hope they don't mess it up. I don't think they will. I mean, Rodney Barnes shouldn't. Because we're going to fight Rich talking about 3 stacks. I'm not dissing him. I think what he did was admirable. I do. That's all you need to know about where the state of hip-hop is. I will shade hip-hop. You know. But when, and he said 3 stacks inspired by his flute. Listen, bro. Andre 3000 called himself Andre 3000 because he was so ahead of everybody else. And if you go back and you listen to those albums, particularly Aquaman and AT Aliens, those 2 particular albums, you go back and you listen to the stuff that he was spitting on those albums, it ain't even close. He's one of the best. And for him to be like, you know what, I'm just not trying to do hip hop like that no more. Or I'm not doing a hip hop themed. He literally walked away from the boom bap and the drum. He'd rather play a flute than to hit you guys with these bars. But the truth is, he's not inspired. That's why he did it. There's nobody out here inspiring him. Sorry, Kendrick. Sorry, J. Cole. Sorry, all of y'all heroes. That's out here. The bars ain't good enough to him to say, man, you know what? I'm going in the studio. I'm finna crush this. You know. But that's where we are in the world of music. Man, you know what? Amir, I need you, and I need you and your mans. I need you and your mans to get on a podcast, bro, at some point soon and talk about this fiasco that's going on in hip hop. Because it's a problem. It's a problem. I've always will have love for the music, but It's in a bad place right now, in my humble opinion. Shout out to the Super Chat, Taki 616. Do you think Static Shadows of Dakota should win an Eisner? Ooh. Let me think about this for a second, because I'm trying to think what's been better. It's been a very good book. Shout out to Vida Ayala and Nicholas Draper Ivy. I hate the rollout. That's been my issue with Static. Matter of fact, that's been my issue with Milestone. Y'all gonna pull me into this Milestone thing. I wasn't even trying to talk about Milestone tonight. But they have been putting these books out just randomly. And it's like, I need my brain needs to be on a schedule. If the book is coming out on the 5th of the month, I need that book to come out on the 5th of the next month. I don't need 6-8 weeks to go by for a book to show up. And so the books have been coming out staggered, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? There's been no real rhyme or reason why they've done that. I've enjoyed Shadows of Dakota, not because of Static. I've enjoyed Shadows of Dakota because of Eben. And I think they should try to do something with Eben in his own title, because he's almost the perfect anti-hero. I enjoyed that run. I'm looking forward to issue number 7 when it comes out. Anybody got an idea when it's coming out? So yeah, Derek, hit my man with the super chat. Yeah. All good. Best I've read this year. We groundbreaking for Milestone. I agree about the delays. It seems not the artist's fault, but DC's decision. We talked about that on the show, and my heart is broke over it. I'm gonna be honest, because Milestone Comics of the 1990s, there has not been a company since. The Milestone 2.0 is still catching up to that. And with all of this technology, and with all of these creative writers, and with all of this art, and all of these different things, you would think that they would be in a better position. But these corporations, they get a hold of these IPs, man, and they jack them up for whatever reason. And I don't even know what's coming down the pike after Static. After Static Shadows of Dakota is over, they still trying. We're still waiting on the next Icon Rocket. Icon versus Hardware book. Anybody seen any idea when the next run or next season of Blood Syndicate is coming out? It was delayed another week, 11/28. See? Where we at? I hate to say it, I was wrong asking Milestone to do flies. The original plan was the trades only. Yeah, I think we were all wrong, Amir. I think that we asked too much of them. Jay, what's happening? Jay Napoleon in the building. What up, bro? What's going on, man? So I know you popped in because you saw this shirt. Shout out to Jay Napoleon Winston, who did this work for me. This Reverend Prayer shirt actually was done by Winston Swam. And Jay Napoleon, my guy, is in the building. He's in here with us tonight. And so, yeah, I love this shirt, man. I love this shirt. For people that don't know, this is a page out of the comic book Black Man. And one of the characters in that comic book is called Reverend Prayer. And so I asked my man, I sent my man a text and said, "Hey, I need you to do something for me." And told him what I wanted, and he did this, and he did a Black Lightning shirt for me. And yeah, still got it, still rocking it, still love it. So yeah, shout out to Winston's Wham, man. Sierra says a meme with 3 stacks holding a flute with the caption, "Y'all don't deserve words." Y'all don't. Y'all don't. Hip hop is taking a fall. I'm telling you. I remember I watched the Source Wars that night when he said the South got something to say. Well, I guess the South ain't got nothing to say no more. I guess the South is done talking. Yeah, that's what's up. Popped in real quick. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming, man. Swinging by. I've been waiting on Natasha Irons since the 90s to be the next Hardware. Well, she might be, I guess she did. I'm not sure, but, she's been in Steelworks, real prevalent. Matter of fact, I would say almost more than John Henry Irons in his own book. So she may get at some point here real soon, a glow up to be the next Steel or to be Steel. Yeah, you meant Steel. Okay. So I think DC did that on purpose to push Wildstorm Universe, so they slowed Milestone Universe. I would hope that they wouldn't do something like that, but I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them. Speaking of Wildstorm, I can't wait for the next Waller versus Wildstorm book to come out. But supposedly, Amanda Waller is going to be part of the axis of evil for DC. It's going to be Amanda Waller, I think Brainiac, and a new character. No, not a new character. The Batman Inzer, whatever. I can't remember his name. But yeah, it's going to be supposed to be the new Trinity of Evil. But she's a part of that. So shout out to you, Amanda Waller. Suicide Squad fans, you're going to be seeing Amanda Waller a little bit more in DC upcoming pretty soon. So yeah. Yep. Pick up the next Action Comics with her cover. Yeah, she's on the cover. It's a good cover too. You ain't old, bro. Time is the wisest counselor of all. Appreciate that. But these gray hairs say something different. It's great. It's great. Say something different. But I appreciate the sentiment for real. Look, finally coming out as Azrael is finally coming out as a wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Azure Beast finally coming out as a true villain, huh? Yeah, that's the word, that she's going to be a real villain. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, she always quote unquote was, but she was the villain. I mean, well, I'm gonna say the villain. She was basically the government, cleanup woman, if you want to say it like that, or she did the dirt. She did the dirt for the government, or for the federal government. That was her job. So one of the five. I'm just gonna say it. Transfer is dope. Don't at me. Look, I ain't mad at Transformers, bro. I mean, any of y'all reading what is it, Rivals? The crossover with Transformers and G.I. Joe? Void Rivals. Yeah, that's it. So there's a lot going on there, man. In the John versus dope. Yep. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Paul. Matter of fact, shout out to Paul and the Miami Hurricanes. Boy, y'all blew that yesterday. Boy, I gotta love college football. It was all right there for y'all, Paul. Y'all had the game, and then y'all had a hot head for a receiver get a penalty pull up. That was That was disgusting. I know you saw it. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no. 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 No, 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 no.
I love that. I love that little clip. That's so funny to me. Yeah, man. The damn Paul coming back with a shot. No, I just, I, but man, golly, that was terrible. I love football, y'all. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for next week. We're gonna get a lot of football next week. We're gonna get a lot of football next week, and I'm here for it, man. I promise you. Shoot, Thanksgiving is coming up. You know, we will be here next Sunday. I'm gonna try to get the crew to join me next Sunday. That means me, Herschel, Paul, Derek, if they're not busy with family and that kind of thing Sunday night. But we will be doing a show next Sunday night, so look forward to that. I've been gone a while, so I was like, you know what, man, I got to get back in the saddle. We do at this time want to shout out Ken Quattro. We're going to ask, I'm going to ask on behalf of Black Comic Lords and, just the fam in general, to keep Ken in your prayers. He's getting ready, if not already, but he's going to be having surgery pretty soon. And I just want you guys to just, bless him up with a prayer. And because this man's doing a phenomenal job in regards to shedding light on different African-American artists from the 1940s. And we did a spotlight last week with A.C. Hollingsworth. And, we've done several other videos with him talking about different, characters. We'll be talking about Matt Baker, E.C. Stoner, I think we did one on, and others, you know what I'm saying? So just lift him up in your prayers, and hopefully we'll get him back, fairly soon or whatever. Good guy for sure. And also check out the rest of our videos and all our content, interviews. You know the drill. You got Wakanda Whiskey and Blurred with Paul and Mark. And we've done several interviews over the course of the last couple of years or so. Go to our YouTube channel and check this stuff out, guys. It's there for you to peruse at your convenience. Talk to Dr. Ewing, talk to Joe Illich. We've talked to a lot of different people, man. We out here working. So, and we're happy to do it. So anyway, with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give the benediction and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So tomorrow's a work day. I will not be working. I will actually be traveling to Houston to go get my dad. My dad's going to spend Thanksgiving here with me. So I'll be on the road tomorrow and hanging out. He said, too soon, bro. What you mean too soon? What are you talking about? Bro, I've been here 2 hours. What are you talking about? Before I get out of here, let me see what Paul is talking about. You want me to stay on another hour? What are you talking about? What is he talking about? I can't remember, but what's your hip hop? Okay, yeah. Sierra asked a question. Let me answer the question. What's your favorite hip hop variant cover, Rich? I have a couple. Okay. I will name three. I will name three. And only because they're my favorites. I can't pick one over the other. Okay. I'm gonna get to the super chat in a minute. Good grief. Thank you, sir. So X-Men #1, there's an X-Men #1 book, and it's a cover that's a tribute to the Ghetto Boys cover. Has Magneto and a few other X-Men on the cover, but it's a tribute to them. That's one of my favorites. There's a Karnak #1, which is a tribute to Schoolie D's album Saturday Night Live. You got to be an old school head to even know what that is or who that cat is. That's one of my favorites. And Squadron Supreme #1, which is a tribute to Wu-Tang Clan's Into the 36 Chambers. Those are my 3 favorite hip-hop variant covers. So frustrated sports fans, just hit us with a nice super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We need to run back-to-back super chat clips just because he did that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Go, boy!
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Paul says, so we just gonna troll me tonight. I'm keeping receipts. Paul, look, bro, you know it's all love, man. It's all love, bro. You know we don't mess with people unless we love them. You know, yeah, so I wouldn't talk about you, but look, yeah. It said, Sierra, see you on Thanksgiving. Please ask your team to don't beat up my team too badly. Yeah, man, we got some good football coming up. The only game I really, really want to watch is the Packers and Lions because the Lions are good this year. The Lions are playing, man, they playing smash mouth football. They are pretty good. So I'm looking forward to playing the Packers or whatever. I know it's going to probably be 1 or 2 other games, but that's the main game that I want to see. So yeah, man, I don't think the wife is going to do nothing big. I think we're going to do Cornish hens this year. We're not doing no turkey or anything like that. We're going to do Cornish hens and some good cornbread dressing and stuff like that. So, but I'll have my pops here with me to hang out with me or whatever. I'm gonna go drive to Houston, bring him back here, and to hang out with me a couple of days. Then I get him back down to the city Friday and probably hang out with him till Saturday because I need to go by Gulf Coast Cosmos. Shout out to them over there. Texas only black-owned comic book shop in the state. So I might make a trip over there to go see them. But, part of that is, I don't know. Here's a tip, guys. Here's a tip. Black Friday is a good day for comic shops. So whatever comic shop you're close to, you might want to go follow them on their Instagram or on their Facebook and find out, what kind of sales they're going to be having. Because most comic shops do a lot of business on Black Friday. You can get some pretty good deals. I remember last year, I literally walked out with about $200 or $300 worth of comics and probably paid no more than maybe $40 for them. Pennies on the dollar, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it was weird too, because the one shop I went to, the current issues on the wall, they had them for $1. The book was $6, retail rung up for $1. So check out your comic book shops this week or next week after Thanksgiving, because you're going to probably find a place where you can get some pretty good deals on some cool books. So just do that and enjoy yourselves. Also, it's a holiday. Please be safe. Be mindful. If you're going to partake of the sauce, get a designated driver or make sure you just at the crib chilling. Okay? Paul, I know you and Mark, y'all are whiskey connoisseurs. And so just make sure that you somewhere sitting down. You ain't got to get the remote, and you ain't got to do nothing but walk to the TV, to the bathroom, to the table. Enjoy it, but enjoy yourself. Just be safe, guys, for real. Just be safe. Enjoy your families. There's a lot to be thankful for. I can tell you personally that I have a lot to be thankful for. You're looking at someone who at one time had cancer, and the Lord saw fit to heal me, and I have been in remission going on 6 years. I do not take life for granted. I try my dear best, even when it gets hard, to not complain, but I'm human like anybody else, and I will have a fit, a pity party at times. But I recognize that in this particular season, we take time out to just say thank you. We take time out to really appreciate one another. And I'm gonna tell you, Black folk, you may not celebrate Thanksgiving. You may call it Family Day or whatever. Whatever you choose to call it or whatever you choose to do, you don't need a special day to be thankful. But I'm gonna just tell you to celebrate in your own way. Give thanks, because all of us could be somewhere else. All of us could not enjoy this amazing hobby. All of us could not have the amazing families and friends and relationships and people that the relationship I have with Paul, Herschel, and Derek, it is a brotherhood that I would not trade for nothing. I generally adore my guys. I love them with a heart. They know I give them a hard time sometimes, but they know that it's all because of how I feel about them. Whether it's, the people that's not a part of our community per se. Jay, I love that dude. I love that dude. That's why I will continue to rock with him, because I got a genuine love for him, because he had a genuine love for the community, and he has done things for me that I'm appreciative of, and so I'm thankful for guys like him. I'm thankful for Black Superheroes Forever and Black Comic Lords. I'm thankful for Blurred Core. I don't run the Blurred Core streets but I thank Flood and I thank cats like Abazi for doing the things that they do in that space, serving that community to their best. I'm thankful for cats like Otis, Black Lion Arterberry. I thank God for him and his contributions. I thank God for artists like, Rodney Barnes. Writers like Rodney Barnes and artists like Marcus Williams, and so many people that bring so much joy to my life. Cats like Amir, who are, who do podcasting, who I've had the pleasure of meeting in this space. I'm thankful to God for these relationships and for these connections, because you enhance my fandom. You enhance my joy. I'm nobody special, but I am around a lot of special people. And so for that, I say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really, really mean that. Please enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and give the benediction. I got to get out of here. Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, verse 13 says this. He says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Fear God, obey his commandments, because this is the whole duty of man." From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich. Until next week, we say peace. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Family Day. Love you guys. We'll see you when we see you. We out.